Hello, everyone. My name is Stuart Capstick, and my job is to help lead a research centre called the Centre for Climate Change and Social Transformations. This is based in the UK, where I live, but we work with partners around the world, including China, Brazil, and Sweden. And I'm also part of the Knowledge and Wisdom Committee of the Global Assembly. So I'm honoured to be able to talk to you, the members of the Global Assembly, and I'll be saying a few words about education, communication, and the media. The first thing to say is that it's essential that the realities of the climate and ecological emergency are explained to people. Research has shown that this provides an important foundation for people's awareness, understanding, and level of concern about these issues. At the same time, providing people with facts and information is only a small part of the picture, and often doesn't do much to help people really feel and understand the problems and solutions. So showing the climate emergency through things like graphs and numbers, like you can see here, may be scientifically accurate, but it can leave us feeling cold or confused. It says nothing about the real world or about people's actual lives. So this is information, but it doesn't mean much on its own. At least as important in education and communication is to pay attention to why these issues are relevant to the things that we care about. That might be to do with impacts on the places where we live and work, or why environmental issues matter for health, for our jobs, our prosperity, and our children's futures. Climate change and environmental issues are increasingly being taught in schools, which is important, so that young people know the realities of what they will face. But the main way that most people will hear about these issues is through the media, whether that's TV, radio, the internet, or newspapers. And for this reason, research has shown that it makes a big difference how the media report these issues, as well as how much attention they give to them. So if news reporters don't say much about climate change, or they talk about the issues as being far in the future rather than happening here and now, this can make the climate and ecological emergency seem like it's not really that much of a problem. It's important, therefore, that when people communicate about climate change and environmental problems, they link the changes that are happening right now to people's own experiences and concerns. And as part of this, we need to recognize that the consequences of the climate emergency can be upsetting, serious, and emotional. And they can also make us feel that there's not much point in just one person trying to make a difference. But while no one person can ever save the world on their own, it's important for communication to be clear how our actions and how our part in things are part of a bigger picture and able to contribute to wider social change. A majority of people in the world do now recognize that climate change is an emergency, but at the same time, not everyone does. And our different backgrounds, cultures, and values can also make a big difference to how we receive and interpret the same types of information. For example, many people are deeply worried about injustice, unfairness, and the impacts of climate change on vulnerable communities, and so will respond to communication that emphasizes this. Others may be more concerned about things like the economy and jobs, or how action on climate change might limit people's personal freedoms. And this again shows that education and communication is not just about facts and figures and information, but is a story about how people see the world and how they would like things to be different. A final thing to say is that education and communication do not have to be one-way processes. They can be just as much about helping people to talk with each other about their worries, concerns, and hopes, just as you are doing in the Global Assembly. Wherever possible, communication should also be about citizens themselves being heard by those who make decisions and policy as part of efforts to find solutions to the problems we face. So that was just a few minutes. I wanted to talk about education, communication, and the media. And I wish you all the best in your deliberations for the Global Assembly.